the NDP have just been so bad that I think people are used to how bad they've been, and they've sort of forgotten. And I know between now and whenever the election is, I'm going to be working on cataloging some of their catastrophe. What about you?
Well, it's numbing. You're right, is probably a good way to put it, because if you recall back to just, it was a week after the election when the Deborah Drever stuff came out. This woman who was posing with marijuana memorabilia and posed in a heavy metal album cover in a way that made it look like she was being sexually assaulted. It was, there, and she said quite a few nasty things online as well. And that was the first one, and I think people were stunned when they saw it. They realized what they did, and ever since then, it's just been a buildup of bozo eruptions from the NDP, and people just expect it now. But we'll have to see, I guess, whether or not that's going to play a part in the everyday Albertans' decision come the ballot box. When we do the catalog, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to try to focus on Calgary MLAs to start with through this series of videos. And I'm going to, it depends on which one it is, depends on who it is, but I'm hopefully going to go meet them and actually ask them questions in person. I think that would be entertaining, because you never know how these people are going to act when they have a microphone on them, and you can ask them questions that the CBC is not asking them. But I don't want to just go through them and outline the stupid things they've done. I want to actually ask them what their justification is for doing the things that they've done. So you'll have to watch out for that, I suppose. And I'll be chatting with you as we go through it, because I imagine you're probably going to want to focus on Edmonton folks, so you can do the same.
Yeah, I think if you do that, I think you're going to catch these people. It's like wildlife photography. You're going to catch them in their natural environment, and you are going to catch them off guard, because I think for a lot of these MLAs, they're used to a very sycophantic media, a media that is, quite frankly, contracting, and it feels like every story they do is a cover letter for their job with the government. Mm-hmm. I think it's almost it's over a dozen, if I recall correctly, mainstream media reporters who've gone on to work for the NDP government in some form or another. So, when you're reading their coverage, of course, but I don't know if the public really knows that, or if they keep that in mind, that that's the filter through which these people write. So, but that's also the filter through which they ask questions of the MLA. So I think you are going to get some very interesting, very natural reactions from the NDP that I don't think we've ever seen before. So I'm very excited to see that. That's an excerpt from my weekly show, The Gun Show. It airs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Each week, I bring you an informal interview with an interesting newsmaker or citizen activist you might not have heard of, but who is making a big difference in Canadian politics. And we'll talk about issues in a way you'll never see done in the mainstream media. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.